utilizing art of war tactics that we just wrote about in the 48 Pillars of Power, art of war, the hip hop handbook,
Facts.
of how he was sowing seeds of dissent by having that man look at his circle in suspicion now. So now he's created real estate in your head that he's permanently occupying in
Oh,
a
Drake
way
is
in which
paranoid. He's
is
paranoid.
and it's in a, now a way
Did
in
you
which
see
is
the
going to
video?
have a physical
Not a
manifestation on the
scene.
body. When the mind is corrupted like that, when the mind is now colonized with, you feel me, like, oh, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
He is
Mm.
super. He
a
was with Johnny
methodical.
Dang. He was with Johnny Dang in Houston of all places, right? So he's going
Right.
home
Right.
to his pops and them, right?
Right.
And he went and got a grill from Johnny Dang. So I'm like, here he goes with the attempt once again.
Shout out to
He's
Royalty
gonna
Flat. Yeah,
he's gonna
snake spike.
cosplay a Houston rapper now because he got the diamond grills and everything, and he's in Houston. But when you should have seen the camera, my dude does not look like the Drake that we know. My dude was looking very unstable in that video, and that was a video of I think today. But then the irony in it is that Rick Ross had a crash landing in Dallas of
Mm.
all places, so they're in the same little area and whatnot, you know.
Wow.
And you know that Bowen talk is an interesting talk because them whistleblowers out of Bowen is getting their shit knocked off. You know what I'm talking about? And
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Blue.
I want to say something, family. Like, we are fathers, businessmen, like responsible members of society. We would not be wasting your time having a mundane conversation about a hip hop battle or a rap battle. This thing is multi-layered, it's multi-tiered, it's multimodal. It's everything that we've been saying it would be, especially now the manifestation of the spiritual implications that have been entered in the conversation. Because the decoder's been decoding. So
Indeed.
they went and did the breakdown on the 616, and it was like throwing up mad reference. They was trying to do the Pope Pablo and line the dates up, and they started throwing up mad scriptures. And the joints about the lambs was dope. I was like, yeah, they on point. Remember, we've been talking about the cow and the Taurus and the bull and everything else is going on during this particular time. Oh, by the way, a white buffalo was just born on April 25th
mm-hmm.
in Texas, of all places. And that fulfills the prophecy, the Hopi prophecy of the return of the white buffalo. I've been wearing white buffalo jewelry all year, the jacket, we got the poncho, and I've been talking about it continuously as part of the prophecy that I feel that, I had a part in playing when I was in Sedona in 22 doing my Blue Kachina ceremonies. I specifically been talking about the white buffalo, but nonetheless, they haven't done the ceremony with the red heifer yet, and then the white buffalo comes. So they're both bovines. They both belong to the Taurian season. We're in the season of Taurus. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh, man.
yeah, so everything is right in alignment. With the time and everything. Um, so they start quoting scripture, and I'm like, it's very key that they were speaking about the lamb and everything. But when I went and looked, this is what Revelation 6:16 says. Y'all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about, I just want you to think about what I've been speaking about in terms of the black Christos Mythos that Pope Pablo been standing on for 89 weeks here. And I'm like, yo, this is a messianic aspect of what we understand about ourselves. This is not only a culture war, it's an identity war, right? Will the real Christ please stand up? Like, who are you people already? Like, we need to know. And it's coming into question, and it's now manifested itself into a hip hop battle of the times. So it says those who fall under the wrath of the Lamb would rather be annihilated, destroyed completely, than face the wrath of the God and the Lamb. Their cries, however, will be fruitless. They will face him who sits upon the throne. They will acknowledge the Lamb that was slain. Ugh. And then they got the iconography continuously of him with the thorns. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, he's really playing the mythos out. But when I found this one here, this one spoke directly to it. Proverbs 6:16 says, there are 6 things the Lord hates. There are 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are detestable to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, a false witness who pours out lies, and a person who stirs up conflict in the community. Now, was this brother not pinpoint on with his observation of how he chose this date in alignment to express a multi-contextual demonstration? But let me show you where the nail in the coffin is at. And that would be Corinthians 6:16. And that one reads, do you not know that he who unites himself with a prostitute is one with her in body? For it is said, the two will become one flesh. And how do two become one? They have a whole seed. That nigga hit him below the belt with that. Right? Paul confronts Corinthian Christians about issues in the church, including sexual sin and division into fractions. In this verse, Paul urges the Corinthians to live up to their new identities in Christ rather than living down to the culture's sexual immoral standards. And when you add the numbers up, right? 616 is 44 days from now on Pac's birthday. So, like I said, we would never waste, I'm saying, the people's time. This is all.
Yeah, I don't want you to pay. I didn't ban somebody who said a comment like that. Don't pay attention to people who a person will watch 5 hours of people talking about this topic, and then they'll come on here saying some shit to throw us off our game. So I don't pay it. Hip hop is one of the most, what's so magnificent, and this is going to go into my next question. Hip hop is one of the most powerful forces in the world. You know what it's like to create a force as powerful as hip hop from a people from that came from what we came from. That's when black people do what they do, it stops the world. You see how the world stops. You know, not many people could stop the world the way we stop the world. That's a gift.
Hell no.
That's not an insult to anybody else, but we stop the world when we do so. When Mayweather fights, he stops the world. Whenever we do something, we stop the entire world. And that's going to go into my next question that I want to ask, because I was talking about the hip hop media outlets. And in terms of being a hip hop cultural critic, this thing is wide. The game is wide open now. It's not like the 90s where it's a Source, Vibe, a couple of publications. There's a lot of hip hop cultural critics who have millions of followers who are not Black Americans. There's a big conversation happening right now. Tariq Nasheed is coming out with a documentary called Microphone Check, in which he's debunking a lot of lies that he said. And I don't know, both sides. I don't never paid attention to it like that. But he's debunking stories that he say aren't true about the origin of hip hop and Jamaicans creating hip hop and Hispanics creating hip hop. So I can't wait to see that documentary. But what I want to ask you is that I seen Kai Cenat say what he said about, Black Americans don't have no culture. And I told Red on one of the last shows, it's the weirdest shit in the world, because he's literally in the middle of our culture right now, making millions upon millions of dollars off of what Black Americans created. So it was real disrespectful, but he's a young brother, so I understand. I didn't take it personal or nothing like that. But what are your thoughts on Black Americans hip hop and should we gatekeep hip hop? Because that is the conversation that is coming up now, where we need to gatekeep the culture, because
Um,
anybody, Adam 22 is out there, Vlad is out there, Kai Sanaz out there. We don't have culture, and he's in the middle of our shit. Imagine
Look,
me being in the middle of Afrobeat saying, hey, you know what? Y'all niggas ain't got no culture. And I'm doing critiques on Afrobeats making millions of dollars. Kids will get my black ass. They would say, you American nigga, if you don't, you know what I'm saying? So what's your thoughts about the idea of gatekeeping and hip hop being a black American culture that has just been completely taken over by every other ethnicity?
well, I mean, we can clearly look at hip hop and see that it's colonized, and the people who are colonized it at the top, it reflects in the quote unquote, once again, the media, the mouthpiece that extend from them because they control the narrative. They sit
Right.
on the top of the conversations that are taking place and they narrate, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you go to Vlad, he's reading from a script. He's getting a profile with each person. How was your household? Was your parents there? Were two parents there? How did it grow up? Was there food in the fridge?
Mm-hmm.
It's you're creating a dossier. You can go back. He can take all of his files in 20 or 30 years and do psychological, analysis
profiles.
on profiles on what made rappers rappers. They're gonna go into true crimes later on to see what made people tick and what have you. So
Mm-hmm.
these people are quote unquote sitting in position where they control the waves of the conversation, the narration of the conversations. They said that they consist of the big three: Vlad, Adam, right? And what they throw academics
Joe
in there.
Button.
Joe Buttons, yeah, they throw Joe Buttons in there as the top of media. And
No, it was
you
Joe
know,
Buttons, Adam, and
yeah,
Vlad. And Adam, I know it was Joe Button, Vlad, and Act. And then the boy Adam was trying to get in there.
right. But still, when we look at a portion of media, a media platform that on the West Coast, that's a very
Yeah, yeah, it's a staple.
yeah, it's a staple, it's a nexus.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's where they still a lot of conversations and narrative get generated from that. So they're sitting in position, I guess, as overseers of the colonizers. Because the truth of the matter is that we may have a culture, but if you don't control the commerce in the culture, and the culture, we don't put culture before commerce, nor do we control the commerce. So that's a double negative. Let me say that again.
Mm-hmm.
We're not
What?
disciplined enough where we put culture before commerce. What does that look like? Yo, I know the value of what 1520 said would represent. I know the value of what these different relics that might be
Landmarks.
floating around the planet for auction. I know, what I'm saying, that you can't put a price tag on some of the things that have to be retrieved that you can't put quote, whose values exceed any cost. So that's what people with culture do. You feel me? So we got a culture in name alone. We don't have a culture in practice, nor do we control the commerce. We don't control no transactions in the culture. We might be doing business in the culture, but we're not in the business of culture, nor are we the people at the top making the money from the business of culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're just people, again, if they're in the quote unquote industry, they don't own their voice, they don't own their likeness. You know what I'm saying? AI is gonna put them out of a job soon. There's gonna be somebody's gonna push the line and be like, nah, I'm not gonna cease and desist. You feel me? Why would I? Because you don't own that voice. It's a derivation of a voice that first you don't own, and then it's a replica. That thing is gonna go to where it's gonna go to. But you know, the emphasis has to be, I guess, going forward on artists to have independence. They
Right.
can really say, yo, I own my likeness, I own my voice, I can say certain things. Because these artists are not going to be able to make music this reflective of the things that are going on in America right now. They can't truly talk about what's taking place on the TV screens or around the world. You can't name me one song that these people have made reflecting what took place last October. It don't exist.
And the
So,
reason why,
right. So now the same lobbyists that are in Congress passing the laws are the same lobbyists that are connected to the corporations that own the record companies, right? So that'll never take place over there on that plantation. So I think yes, I think that hip hop has been colonized, and this is the final squelching of the voice of it. And AI will come out on the other end of this because
Well,
this is
well,
usual
Blue, the question
suspects.
was, should Black Americans gatekeep it?
I would say I wouldn't
We
use the word gatekeep. I would use the word vanguard.
Okay.
Right. I feel that I feel that along with reparations, if you're taking your power back, you take your culture back. Stake the claim and take the culture back and license it willingly to other nationalities. We don't want to close our fist and whatnot, but we have to vanguard our culture, because if not for nothing, this battle has shown us unequivocally, because keep in mind, each one of those artists have to get approved to release a song. They just can't drop a song. They don't have the freedom of a yay to just put something out. Both artists are underneath the quote unquote leadership and rulership of Lucian, right? Both of them. Universal stocks is going crazy right now. I'm talking about off the chain. They brought back this quote unquote business. They brought the business back, not the art form in so many ways, but you know, battle rap is here, but they're not even calling it battle rap. They're not even highlighting battle rap. They tried to say that Kendrick was biting the battle rappers by showing clips of battle rappers battling. And I'm like, he's not biting the battle rappers. He's studying the battle rappers, and the man is battle rapping. You know, they've used Park and Son in battle raps 100 times.
right.
They've used the YN Melly. Yeah, they tried to say Park and Son.
Was coming for Kendrick.
Oh, Calico said that. Listen, he's a battle. Both of them are battle rapping aficionados and whatnot.
Right.
So they are battle rapping. This is not. They dudes are trying to look for a club song to twerk to. These men, these sassy niggas. They want to get a Drake song to dance to. And I'm like, this is battle rap. They making songs to listen to feel.
Yeah, but he was the first artist that successfully made a battle rap dance song, and he did.
No, I know he did,
you know
and he set the standards, and that's what they
expect something like that from him. Yeah,
from him. Right. That's what they want, and you know that's what they're gonna get, because that's what he's gonna deliver them. But when I played push-ups alongside Euphoria with all of that dancing and all of that popcorn, it there was no poetry in it. There was no double entendres. He was really being a chatty patty. He was talking about the man's shoe size. He was talking about the splits. If he make a split, his pants is a split. When you break it down and read the lyrics, that's why genius.com, the website, crashed. Why? Because the journalists are failing us. Why? Because hip-hop journalism is compromised. You should not have to go to Genius if these sites were doing their job and whatnot, and explaining. If you don't see the biasness in this battle when it comes to both artists, then I don't know what to tell you. All of the platforms like Complex, the majority of them that belong to the boys' ethnicity, either they don't want to report about homie, they don't want to report about Kendrick, they're giving him lackluster coverage, or when they mention him, they try to downplay it by putting homeboy in the equation. Let's see what Drake is going to do next. I wonder what Drake is thinking. Did you see Drake's answer? Drake made a meme. Like, all of that is uncalled for, because when Kendrick wasn't saying nothing, all of these same platforms was like, oh yeah, Kendrick is gone. He's scared. He's running. But my thing is this. Homie was talking like he had a Scud missile. He ended off push-ups with a new track. So why didn't you beat Rick Ross's record of firing back after homie dropped the track? You supposed to release the jump off. And for the record, the 616 that he released today, right? Kendrick, the like Blue Pill said, 4 layers of chess. That is a response to the AI track that homie caught an L for, because he had to take it down because it didn't work. But that's Kendrick saying, while I'm waiting for you to respond, I'm gonna throw this one out too to knock that other AI stuff out the box. So Kendrick is up 3-1. The like that verse, nobody answered that. Push-ups
slaps.
Right. Push-ups is Drake's round 1. If this was battle rap, Drake goes first, right? And we all know with battle rap, it really depends on who goes first and who goes last. The you know when Jay-Z got on stage and said X Nas, he don't want it with Hove. That was like that. That's what the like that verse was. That was me calling you out and starting to say, let's get into a battle, right? So round number 1 is push-ups, and Drake answered first. Round number 1 is Euphoria. That is Kendrick's answer to push-ups, and he beat that. Round 1.5 is, what was the name of the Drake verse with Pac?
Tailor Made.
Round 1.5 is Tailor Made and 616. He bodied that with 616. There's no discussion. So theoretically, if he beats, because there's 3 rounds in a battle, right? There's 3 rounds. If you win 2,